Alright, this should be recording. Let me just see that file. Yeah, I see the file. So MechWarrior 5, doing the graphics quality analysis. This is actually the second time I'm doing it, but before getting into that explanation, the key was provided by TinsleyPR for Piranha Games. Alright, so getting into the explanation of why this is the second time I've done this. A patch, I have pre-release access to the game, and some patches have been released, including one that did actually change the graphics some. And so I want to, basically go through this stuff again, perhaps not spending as much time on some, but I want to go through it again so that at least the visuals will better match what the game will look like, even if my conclusions from minimum and maximum are still the same. Now, I also want to quickly touch on something here, which is, you see this, how it's grayed out, and there's also sharpening here that's grayed out? That is a bug. And I've asked about this, and was told it is a bug. There is a way to work around to temporarily fix it, but it is not even very long for temporary of a fix. I actually just tried that. This is the second time I tried starting this video today, in even the past 10 minutes, because I tried changing it and then it's like, oh, that didn't, okay, that looks horrible, turning it down all the way, and then I come back and it was locked. So it's like, yeah, I can't do that. But as I said, it is a bug. They are aware of it, so this is before release. My guess would be they will make sure it is fixed by then. Fixed by release. At least, I know I would not want that a game to go out with these two to be locked, especially since the default for the resolution scale is like 87 for me. You don't want a default to be the resolution lower. At least in my opinion, I wouldn't want that. Anyway, so these are the settings we got. View distance, quality, effects quality, shadow quality, texture quality, foliage, post-processing quality, anti-aliasing quality, and anisotropy quality. Which, arguably, that should just be anisotropic filtering, but anyhow, let's have quality. I know, it's just kind of weird for me to say anisotropy. Now, I've already gone through all this stuff. We'll look at this stuff again anyway, but view distance quality, unless that's changed, I couldn't spot a difference. Effects quality, could see it. Shadow quality, could see it. Texture quality, couldn't find it. But that doesn't surprise me as much as anything. Foliage, yes, but that one requires restarting the game. So if we do look at that, we'll look at that last. In this video, I mean. Post-processing quality, couldn't see that as I recall. Anti-aliasing, can see that. And anisotropic filtering, yes, you can see that as well. Alright, so let's get in here. And instead of going to the current thing, I have some saves back here I can use. And I actually need the snow one first. This is actually where I started doing the previous video, which I've already deleted, so you will never see it. But still, I feel like starting here first. It's a nice, simple, clean map, so I feel it's appropriate. It also might be, of the three, the one that has actually the most obvious change from what I saw before, and what was also captured in the review playthrough videos. Yeah, I kind of wish loading times were a bit shorter. Okay. Well, yeah, that's true, since we're here. And geez, what mechs do I have? It's been a while. Didn't realize I actually do have the Warhammer at this point. Okay. Let me just see what's okay. Actually seems kind of recent even. Alright, and let's put this guy in there. Alright, so first things first, we can look at how they appear at the different things, how the mechs appear while they're just, sitting here. And I wanted this guy out because I just want to note that the cannons there, they actually do seem to have holes there, whereas here, there's a lens there, which makes sense because those are actually energy weapons. Alright. So, first things first on these, I actually want to go to the anti-aliasing, which at low, I believe is actually off, because when we look at it, there's a lot of aliasing. You can see spatial aliasing, and when I move the shimmering, it's clearly temporal aliasing going on there. And that's going to be present on all the things. Yeah. So, go to medium. And this helps with the spatial aliasing, but as you can see, there's still temporal aliasing. And at least in some of this, it looks kind of soft to me. Like unduly soft. High. It actually looks less unduly soft than medium. The temporal aliasing is gone. That is dealt with. So yeah. Basically, I concluded that the minimum is high because medium does not do enough to address the temporal aliasing. We can actually come up to a catwalk and look over these things. So yeah, unfortunately, you can see ghosting there, which actually, here, let me try something. Try turning that off. I think I can still see it in there. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what it is that is causing that ghosting. I'm guessing that high is using some form of TAA, temporal anti-aliasing, so yeah. But with maximum, though, so a notch up, I couldn't tell you what the difference is. I really couldn't tell you. Yeah, there is clearly ghosting there, which, well, actually, that might not even be ghosting. That might be it might be a reprojection error. It'd probably be best to just say, go and read the Series Statistics, the Aliasing Adventure article I wrote up, the section concerning temporal anti-aliasing and such, and that is a very bad clipping there. But anyway. So, reprojection is the idea that, hey, this scene has been rendered in a previous frame, and at least some of the shading work being done, the math to figure out what colors should be, instead of just always doing that fresh each frame, let's see what was done before, and then based on how the scene, how movement was between one frame and the next, project it forward, reproject it into the new frame. It was initially developed as a way to improve performance, and you do see that used today, used in that way, but also later researchers also suggested a way, naming it amortized supersampling. Yeah, but it is basically the foundation of most TAA methods you'd see today, I believe. Not necessarily all, but because of how, especially with this bar, how that is impacting things, I feel like they're trying to project information, and it's just because it was occluded and then it's not. It's like it's just taking a few frames to build up the information to look correct. I'm guessing that's something like that. Alright, so there's that, but yeah, I don't know what it is what maximum really does. So I'm just pulling it up. So yeah, I have the minimum as high because it clearly does a good job of addressing aliasing. I don't see aliasing when it's on high. Medium doesn't touch the temporal aliasing, so I wouldn't recommend that. Low appears to be off, and there's enough aliasing. I don't think you necessarily want to turn it off. Unless you got another solution, like if you are using an oversampling method, like virtual super resolution for AMD, dynamic super resolution for NVIDIA, or some other solution like that, or forced MSAA, SSA, whatever. Unless you're doing that, I think high would be best, because there have been some games where it's like, yeah, it off, the sharpness is nice to have, but I don't think you're necessarily gaining enough in detail to say that, yeah, I want anti-aliasing off. Yeah, that's okay. Effects quality? With that, I actually want to go back down. There's a good example of effects quality down here with the welders. Because you see how it's spitting off sparks? Turn that down to low. And you can see there are far, far fewer sparks. Alright, I'm just looking at the notes, so yeah, it definitely covers particle effects. It might cover more than that. Okay. See, I'm trying to save some time by just looking through my notes again. And what I have here is before seeing something getting shot, low looks fine, but it's clearly missing effects. Medium has these effects but turned down, making it better. So I kind of have the minimum of low/medium. So it depends on what you want. I mean, there's nothing wrong with low, but at medium, and we'll see that when I get into a map. But at medium, you clearly have more here, like with the particle effects. They are there. Let me just look at high. Does beat medium because one of the weapons I use is a particle cannon, PPC. Right here. Particle projector cannon. Fires high energy ion bolts, creates a brief disruption field within 90 meters of the impact. I can say that disruption field really matters all that much, but in any case, it's a nice weapon. It does have a lot of effects to it though, because it is a concentrated energy beam, so there's effects within the beam, it kind of has effects around it. Where it hits it, it causes an explosion and ripple, denoting that disruption area, and also a warping effect even. And at high, you do have more of those effects than on medium, and they do look better. At maximum, they look better, and there's even more. So there are clear delineations between medium, high, and maximum, which is why maximum does deserve to be the maximum quality, maximum acceptable quality. But high is still, it still looks good. I'm just like, basically on the high end, you're good high or maximum. Maximum if you can do it. Don't feel bad if you go to high, and then low and medium. If you can do medium, do medium. Otherwise, low should be fine. I for when I was testing, which is I was just shooting actually one of my own guys, because why not? It works. Yeah, I might find other effects, and I will test this all again. I'm just not going to do it here. I'm not going to spend as much time on it. But yeah, low/medium for the minimum, depending on what you feel you want, and maximum/high again, depending on what you feel you want. Shadow quality, low appears to turn them off. I could show you that here. Actually, no, I should, because this has some definitely good shadows. Like, there. There's a shadow being cast by the mech. Turn that back to high. Shadow quality low. There's no longer shadows. Yeah. Now, shadows are not necessarily something you need in this game. So it's not horrible that they're gone, which is why low is an acceptable minimum. But it's still as low as they're gone. And then I actually have medium for the maximum because I can't see a difference between these. So here, let me actually, because I can get a decent look right there. And let's actually go all the way up to maximum. The shadow might be darker, but it doesn't look more defined to me than medium. Okay, no, I take that back. It is a little bit more defined, but not enough that I think it's gameplay-wise. No, I'll leave that at medium. All right, I'm setting it to high just for the comparisons. Texture quality, I can't tell you it does anything. Yeah, I even tried seeing what the VRAM utilization was for the graphics card and changed it. Was I in here? Or was I in a level? I can check it in a level. But I didn't see any change. It is possible, though, that it's controlling VRAM reservation reservation for the textures, because I think that's what some games are doing now. I don't have a copy of Resident Evil 2, but I saw the remake, but I have seen some things talking about it. And it seemed to include... Well, it seems that its texture quality stuff was in gigabytes, where you could set like how much storage it could take to use for textures, including to like going to 12 gig, and you can even set that on a card that doesn't have that much. And it's not like it was better than at 8 gig, but it's just how that was being done. Looks like that's the case here, where I don't see high being better than medium, maximum being better than high. I don't see low being worse than them either. So, yeah, I need to drink water, by the way. Foliage requires a restart, so I'll do that last if I'm going to touch it. Now, it is low for the minimum and maximum for the maximum. Low, it's kind of like with shadows. I don't think you really need them. They're not being there, the foliage objects not being there, it's not horrible. And also, I do believe that I'm not testing performance at the moment, but I do believe that on low, that the foliage setting may really impact performance because it will influence how much has to be put in the scene. But basically, low removes various things. Medium, like grass is gone on forest maps. Medium puts that back. High shows more grass than medium, and then maximum does better level detail stuff than high does. Like I saw trees in the background that on high were very low quality textures almost sitting there, and it looked really bad. And once I got closer, once I zoomed in, they snapped to something that looked better, whereas maximum, it just looked like that already. Post-processing quality, I couldn't tell you what the difference is. I'll look at that actually. That one, I can also try checking on texture quality. I'm just quickly running through this stuff. Already covered anti-aliasing. Then anisotropic quality, I'm not really going to touch on here. In this room, I mean. 2x and 4x are both like the minimum. You can get away with 2x, 4x is better, and 16x is better than 8x, so it's 16x is the maximum, but 2x satisfies just straight up minimum. Alright, so let's Yeah, let's try texture quality. See, because in theory, I can just do this. I'm just trying to find a good spot where detail would be clear. Do you move? You're not moving. I want to find something where it'd be very clear. I guess this'll have to do. And you know what, here, actually, let me also that to low. So that way, anti-aliasing is off, there's no softening of the textures from that. Alright. Go straight up to maximum. I'm not seeing anything change. Which, like I said, it could be like a texture streaming kind of control or a VRAM utilization thing. It's the fact that nothing's changing doesn't mean the option doesn't do anything. It just might be doing something different than we would normally expect. Alright, now look at post-processing quality. Wait, oh, that actually does have a change. Right in there with that, the shadow on there. Let me go up to medium. That might be a little bit better. It's hard to really spot. I'm gonna skip all the way up to maximum now. That does look better. I can still see the cross pattern in there. But it's not as bad as that. Hang on, let me turn the anti-aliasing back on. So that's actually not too surprising. Anti-aliasing is impacting the... I'm guessing that is the ambient occlusion, because the game does use Unreal Engine, and I assume it's Unreal Engine 4. I can see some screen space ambient occlusion issues kind of stuff up in the upper right quadrant screen. Anyway, and another game that I did this stuff in was that's also Unreal Engine 4 is Darksiders 3, and I'm pretty sure it's post-processing setting that also controlled things like ambient occlusion. So that might also be the case here. But to be honest, I don't care about that. That's a small detail. I'm just glad I'm now finally actually seeing something being different. I'm looking at the reflections. I want to see if that's post-processing connected. Doesn't look like it. You know, there's part of me that wants to do performance analysis in the game, and part of me that doesn't, and part of the reason I don't want to is because I just don't know how to trust the, I don't know what enough the settings are doing, so it's hard to trust I'd be able to figure things out. Let me try this. Okay, so that is still happening like that. Now, let me actually quickly... Well, no, first... Close inspection of mech leg in dropship. It appears ambient occlusion is controlled. by this. For some reason I want to start writing like concluded or something, and I don't know why. But can't say I care about it given how you... Well, given the normal perspective for gameplay in cockpit or over the mech shoulder. Alright. There. Let me try this. Okay, so I'm not seeing that anymore. Okay, so that is being caused by something in effects, it looks like. Set that back to low, high, that, high, and high. It is weird. There is a reflection on the side of it that does seem to change from left to right, but that could just be your placement. I'm seeing it somewhat there. Let me try turning this off. Yeah, it's still seeing it a little bit there. That's not. Leave that as it is. I'm getting so confused because I thought I was seeing then. I thought when I turned off effects, that was... it stopped doing it. Now I guess it is still doing it some. Let me see about... You know, it's also possible that what I'm actually seeing is like some kind of stutter. Anyway, set that back. Yeah, so post-processing... I don't know. I don't know if I really worry that much about it. Being on or off. Oh, hey, you're over here now. I thought at one point you were back here. Anyway. Let's go to the mission. Same difference. Yes, it should be this one that I want. I actually should have started this, accepted the contract beforehand. Because that gets it loading. Alright, but what I'm expecting to find here is, for one thing, that there will be a fog over the map, which was not there when I played this level as part of the review playthrough. At that point, I will also mess with the view distance quality, because maybe that'll have an impact there. Shadow quality will be unimportant for most people, I think. The anisotropic quality, there will be an example there where you will see that 2x or 0x off will be, it'll be very blurry when it's quite low, but as you turn it up, it will get better. 16x will look better than 8x, though it may be hard to really spot it. But 8x and 4x, well, 8x will look better than 4x, and 4x will look better than 2x. It's just a question of between 2x and 4x, which is what you really want to settle with. The default is 4x, but if you got it turned down to 2x, I think that's fair to do. But given that your perspective, whether it is in the cockpit view or the third-person view, you're going to be seeing textures at a not isotropic projection. You want to have that on, I would say. It's don't have that at 2x, don't have it at 4x, have that at like 8x or 16x if you can. I think you will be most happy with that. You will be viewing so much at the angles that you need the anisotropic filtering that you just should do it. Seems the game has crashed. Because the audio kind of cut out. And I can't get back into it. Lovely. Oh, hang on. Let me do that. Though that actually doesn't make any sense. Also, why are you like that? I opened up Task Manager and it was saying that run low on memory, but it's also, I've never seen it, Task Manager, look quite like that, so I just forced it to close. I did have something else open that I know uses up a lot of memory. I was just really hoping that it wouldn't be an issue. Hadn't really noticed before that Task Manager actually identifies the GPU engine being used. All the way over to the side. Alright, now I'll just load it directly. Yeah, need to. There. The game is pre-release. Just remember that. And honestly, that I've never seen before. So it is possible that just some weird confluence of things that will be unique to me forever and ever caused it to not be happy. I do truly doubt, though, that it is in fact that I was out of memory, seeing as how I do have 32 gig of it in this system. Now that said, closing the one thing that 12 gig of RAM, I think, is how much I let it take. Closing that should help, but I doubt that it should have hurt it that much. But, you know, things can be weird. It does definitely look to be happier, though. Captain Sharp and Captain Bruner. Sharp I still have, I don't use anymore. Bruner, I have fired. I mean, also doesn't help that, you know, just on my gameplay stuff now, that Vindicator they cannot keep it alive. The Firestarter, though, is pretty amazing. At least it was before the patch. It seemed like it was getting beat up on pretty hard afterwards. Yeah, so we're almost there. $98, $99, $100, which is actually not truly 100, it seems, because it takes a little bit to get to that point. I don't remember if this one... No, we do need to wait for this. Okay.
So you will have to search the area and ensure that everyone on our list is found and dealt with before we can pack it in.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, yes, there is a fog to this that was not there when I first did it. It's actually funny if you look at the review playthrough video, and I don't know what... Oh, no, I do know. It would be 9 or 10. No, sorry. That was after the graphics analysis. 12? Might have been 11. That map that I was first on was, like...
Let's keep moving. Don't want sensors getting all
full of fog, and I actually kind of liked it. Because it was nice to... crap, hit the wrong button. Well, it doesn't matter too much.
At the waypoint?
Relocated and scanning for hostiles.
Reposition successful,
there.
Commander.
This is about where I position myself, and what is up with the map? It actually looks like it's marking that it's drawing the other thing. The dropship. So, okay, let me first... That's the PPC. And as you can see, it has a number of effects to it.
Orders, Commander.
No, get away from me. I want you over there. I do want them here, though, because enemies will actually come over. Alright, so let's first look at view distance.
At requested, Commander.
Holding a designated position.
I'm at the location, Commander.
Add one more to my kill count.
I don't see anything changing here. Oh, there.
Target acquired. Target.
Tango eliminated.
Thank you. But see, it is helpful to have them around because they can kill those things for me. So yeah, I still have no idea with the view distance. Let's quickly look at post-processing. No difference there, really. I mean, okay, sure, maybe in the shadows here, but I mean, let's face it. If you're going around playing this game like this, you're doing it wrong. So yeah, it's... Without knowing the full list of things, just, you know, that the shadow stuff that I spotted before with post-processing, I don't think it really matters. I Alright, so let's look at effects quality. So low, we already know about the particle effects. But it's also... Oh yeah, it does do that weird thing. We're changing the effects quality. Sometimes we'll cause something to go poof again. Not sure why. But as you can see, these are definitely less interesting. We don't have that ripple effect of the disruptor field. There's a flash there, but it's still... It's not... as exciting, I guess would be a way to put it. So we pop it up to medium. And that actually looks pretty similar. I do see something happening within the flash, but it's not that much, really. Go to high. It does seem like there is actually a small difference between... One thing just occurred to me. A small difference between, I'm sorry, my brain just partially turned off. So I wasn't seeing anything between low and medium. But we do now have that little warp effect in the bubble area. So there is that. So high does stand out against medium, which doesn't seem to stand from low. And then had maximum.
Heat critical.
There was something that I could see, like a little warping right at where it hits that I remember seeing at maximum. It's not really seeing it now though.
But we got this.
Heat critical.
I'm not really seeing it anymore. Huh. It's possible I won't end up spotting a difference between a high and maximum anymore. Oh, here, let me do this.
On the move, Commander.
Come here. I need a test subject. And you elected. Yeah, we now have this new crosshair telling you, don't shoot them, they're friendly. They don't have such a thing, but...
Awaiting orders.
Come closer.
Copy. Repositioning. At requested position, Commander.
Not actually, but whatever. Wait, no, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this. On the mech. Yeah, don't really see too much changing, really.
On location, Commander.
Things are gonna pop again. Yeah, nothing really jumping out at me. That's kind of funny. How that damage changes. Well, yeah, that's at maximum, so that shouldn't be it. Yeah, so I don't know anymore about the difference between high and maximum, so... Here it is. It now becomes high. there. So still have low, medium for the minimum. It depends on what you're willing to sacrifice, basically. Still got nothing for texture quality or post-processing quality. Oh, can do that.
Repo to
You can
new
leave.
location.
Actually, hang on. Alright, so where the ground is lit up over here. Can I?
Reposition complete. Waiting for orders, Commander.
I'm just gonna reposition a little bit so it's a little bit more center. Alright. 0x. And like up there, it's there's less detail in it. Clearly. And then if we look at it with 16x, you can see much more detail, especially like right in here. Not so much right in here, but that might be that the lighting is just like removing the detail. Alright, so back to 0x for the reference. (2x). And it is better. It is. It's not necessarily a lot better though, but it is better. And also don't forget, you're probably going to be playing at this for a lot of it. I mean, like this, it is basically flat. It is very soft there. But going to 2x, it gets a little bit more. Not necessarily a whole lot. I think there's a little bit more right there. 4x. 4x, there is some more in there. Nope. There we go. That's the button I was trying to get. Do you have some more detail in there? I actually am thinking I'm going to bump this up to 4x. Because I'm not seeing the differences as much as I thought. Alright, so my note now says 4x does look markedly better than 2x, which I'm struggling to see its improvement over 0x. And then 8x. There is detail there, and it actually kind of transitions and it kind of fades in. And then at 16x, there is a little bit more, but it is worth noting that in anisotropic filtering, what you set is actually the upper limit. It is not the it is not forced to use that many additional texture elements to figure out what the pixel should be colored. All right, now I'm gonna set this to low, so I can do that stuff. But you see this stuff right here? That's exploding. That is what the foliage is. That will be gone on low. Right, this stuff. You guys can follow me. There's also some stuff in the little town area there, the little city area there, that will also disappear on low. It is obviously here on medium. I couldn't tell you that high and maximum do anything to make it better though. Yeah, just straight up, I don't know what high and maximum are doing. Which is, that's just how it is sometimes. I'm not doubting that they do something, I'm just saying I can't see it. But that could just be that I don't know what to look for, which could also very well be the case for the post-processing quality. Alright, I'm on the wrong side of this building. I'll get there.
Let's see who goes insane
Alright.
in this place first.
So these fences right here,
Getting there.
and let me just get rid of that. But these fences, those are also foliage. So at low, they will be gone.
Target down.
Okay. I just felt like shooting the building. Now, these are also physics objects. You know, it's like walk into them, they will fall down and actually just disappear. Same there. This one, curiously... Oh no, that does break. Okay. So it seems like foliage is more like just certain physics objects that are purely decoration. It's not like that stuff which is actually there to be destroyed and also something is left when it's done. This building is a physics object, but not foliage. I guess one way to look at it is if it leaves something, then it is in foliage. Alright, so I set that to low. And everything else can stay as it is and exit game. So I can restart it and it will have low applied. It does seem a little weird to me that requires restarting the game, that foliage requires restarting the game. I will admit that. Developers and publishers, Piranha Games. This is also something that got added, by the way. So yeah, it's if you have the kind of epilepsy that there's an autosave at the beginning of every mission. That's why no continue works. The kind of epilepsy that is triggered by sudden flashes of light. There's a specific name for that kind of epilepsy. I don't remember what it is. I actually didn't know someone that even had it. It was mild, though. It didn't always happen. And I think it was also like certain colors, she said. Anyway, but if you have that, this game may trigger it. I'm just very glad I don't have that because I play so many video games. I enjoy them so much, I would hate to have a medical condition tell me I can't. I'm also just kind of thinking, oh good, we're here. So I need to keep thinking about something. Oh well, a little bit. I was just wondering, how many people have I known that have epilepsy? That's one. I've probably known more. Epilepsy is a lot more common than some people may think, but it's also not necessarily that visible.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
And it is definitely not fair, not appropriate to ostracize someone because they have epilepsy. No, that there should not be a stigma attached to it. But anyway, you can see that that stuff is gone. Like the rocks over there, the ice things that I was walking on and shooting and were causing to explode. If I come over here, you will see that those fences are gone as well. So, you know, actually, I'm going to make that note in here. Covers things like grass and tree quality, but also anything that is a physics object, but when destroyed is removed instead of leaving some ruin. So that's like the building, that leaves ruins. Mechs, they leave ruins. They would not be foliage. It would be really weird if a mech disappeared because you had low.
But don't want to be here a second longer than necessary.
Actually, yeah, I want to be over here, now that I think about it.
destroyed.
Alright, so as you can see, this is where the fence was. It is no longer there. It's not here anymore because they were foliage objects, and at low, they're just gone. Now, I don't think that this is a good place to see the, that's actually very interesting. When I went to load, the game kept playing. This is not really the best place, I think, to show the difference between medium, high, and maximum, for the forest is. I just need to go. That's true, could also come here, but I don't like that biome. I don't think it's common enough to be worth it. Is the simplest way to put that. Forest you see a fair amount. The other one I got is Lush Canyon and Snow. Those three worlds are all fairly common. So I think that those are fair to look at for visuals, and also if I do a performance analysis where we'll collect the data, actually for the review as well. I'll probably at these three locations collect performance data and just play the map and get 5 minutes worth of data. Yeah. So there will definitely be variance within that data between one run and another, because that's how I approach it. I play the game. Alright, come on. Sorry, I am feeling fairly tired. So, yeah. It's almost enough to make me wish I actually edited these videos, but I don't. You just go in and cut out these loading periods. Yeah, I do not edit. I could, I have yet to really mess with a tool for it that would be easy, that I really got the hang of. I also never really given myself enough reason to. No, I just do basic processing kind of stuff in FFmpeg. I would be able to cut out segments and then concatenate things together. But it's I don't think it's worth it. So that's kind of like the idea of what I put up always being unedited. Especially since you don't realize how much editing some people will do. Where it's not just like cutting, but sometimes also color correction kind of stuff. Something I could do with FFmpeg, I choose not to. Okay, so there is no grass.
This is all they have.
These trees actually look pretty much the same. They do look a little soft. That's more because of the anti-aliasing. Okay, so you see those trees there? Oh, here, let me just try this. Coming closer. You may see them pop into a much more detailed model. I don't know, because I didn't try this before on low. Okay, no, it looks like it's not going to. But between high and maximum, that is where I really saw a change. Alright, so... let me quickly try this. Maybe I could be lucky and it's an exaggeration. That's restart to title. Restart the game. Maybe it's just restart to title. Probably isn't. I don't think that there would be an exaggeration, but, I can be hopeful. And also waste your time making this video longer. I'm not really sorry about that. I mean, it's, you can skip forward. Especially since, this is what you got to look at. So once this changes, it's done loading. I actually have to sit here and wait. You get the benefit of time travel. I don't. Well, sometimes I do. Not always. That's right, there's night vision. I am not going to spend the time, though, comparing graphics quality with night vision enabled or not. I don't think that's necessary. Alright, so at medium, you can see we got the grass. We also have other things, like
by targeting their food supplies.
Those sticks. Well, the like broken trunks there.
They see you as a threat.
Right, now, I'm going to start approaching, and you will see that they will pop to, right there, pop to looking much better. Alright. Now, that, oh wait, no, maybe it wasn't these trees, maybe it was up there. No, it is these trees. So you can see, like, here they are light green, but once you zoom in, they look like that, and that's actually really funny. It wasn't doing that on low, was it? I don't think it was. I would have noticed that. Like, this is a color change. We start walking forward, speed it up a little bit. Yeah, you see that change. I would have seen that. So, that's funny. So I guess with the low, it may like lock these at a better level, but it's removing things like the grass and also various other items like these bushes that and things like this. Because who cares? You don't really need them. To be honest, I think I would actually leave the foliage on low myself. Like for just generally playing the game personally, not for a review. Because I don't really think it's adding enough to make it worth it, to make it necessary. It's kind of funny, it's Piranha Games and they're showing like an ox head, which it might actually be a reference to the story of Piranha eating some kind of I'm trying to think of it. Bovine-like animal. Which is actually kind of a myth. Piranha can do that in a swarm, can devour a large animal very rapidly, but they typically don't. It's the myth is because apparently the natives, the indigenous people, where you find piranha, hopefully I'm remembering this correctly, they wanted, the visitor wanted, something interesting to see, and so they just, let the piranha starve a little bit, get them nice and hungry, and then threw in the cow or whatever, and they ate it then very rapidly because they were very hungry, but normally they're not that ravenous. Alright, so at high, there is more grass.
Saddle up, Commander.
Oh no, that's interesting.
This
So
contract
that's...
has us targeting a remote farming facility for destruction.
They may...
Go to Knot Point Alpha and tear the entire
So
facility
that's
down.
interesting. So when you look away and look back, it changes, and we also see it do it up there. And that is actually pretty sad, because this is sort of like a map level kind of thing, where it's just a lower quality. version, but it's a different color. It's like, you know, this is a clearly like a pale green, but when you zoom in, it's got reds in it. A pale red. You know, it's autumn color. And we got those sticks still, which it's kind of unfortunate how it's, you know, you got aliasing in there, low quality texture there, but, you know, it's what you got.
Taking the view. Not now.
It also took a little bit for that to change. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and that should really not be happening that close to you. Anyhow, let's to maximum. Another reason I would have that at low is because all those objects, the GPU might not care so much. The GPU might not have that big an issue handling the additional objects, but the CPU having to compose the scene with them in there, that would take longer, so would impact frame rate. If I do look at it, I wouldn't be surprised if the largest impact to frame rate is going from low to medium, and then medium to high and high to maximum, though having something present, having impact present would not be as significant. How long has this been going? Oh, just over an hour. I might skip the canyon. We can look at it, but I don't know what it might be worth trying to investigate in it. Yeah, I can definitely still look at it, but I think the information we need for min-max stuff is already collected. Yeah, so right now you can see that the trees are looking better. Turn away. Turn. Oh, no, it's doing that. Okay, then. I
will monitor your progress from here.
I don't know what's going on. It looks like it. Then I have to change. All right. There it is. Changing it to high. Better for reasons stated below. But after checking again, not seeing that reason being true anymore. So high is MAQ. That is definitely interesting to me. Alright, yeah, I can stay at maximum for now. But load this up. And I am tired. I do want to get out of this so I can go to bed. And also just remember, I need to make sure I speak up. Because otherwise some of the just like noise that's inherent to audio capture, and also to just, you know, noise from the room probably as well, does get picked up by the mic and will be amplified. This one. I'm just also thinking performance analysis doing that. It'll definitely be after release if I do it. There's the timing of that and other things. It might actually even wait until like into January even if I do it. Because that'll give plenty of time for optimizations, plenty of time for driver updates. And there are some other things I'd like to do. I mean, if it wasn't for like the holiday stuff, for me Christmas, then it could maybe do it in December, but you know, with that in there and the other stuff I have to do, no, it'll have to wait. If I do it, I'm unsure at the moment though. Unsure if I actually want to put all that effort into the game. It also depends on certain things, like, yeah, that's true. The game is supposed to have RTX effects in it. Ray-traced lighting, shadows, and reflections? Or is it ambient occlusion, shadows? I know shadows and reflections are on there, on the list. It could be because I'm using an AMD card at the moment that stuff isn't listed. It may be hidden because of that. But if it doesn't launch with that, I may then wait until it does get added so that I can include that in a performance analysis. Which is kind of what I did for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Though with that, it was just the analysis didn't come out yet. I had the data, I just, you know, hadn't worked on it all yet until, hey, now we got that. Oh, and now it's also the GTX 1070 and 1080 can accelerate ray tracing. So I should test that as well. And for anyone curious, yes, with this, it's ray tracing. I will test with the 1070 and 1080 as well. I have no excuse not to with the test system, but also, it's not like before when I didn't want to test with the 1070 because, you know, when having to swap things out in the desktop because that's a pain in the ass.
Our employer wants us to destroy a local.
So we also got a haze here, and I do like it. I think it does help add, not so much here, but on some of the maps, it really does, in my opinion, add to it. And I also just realized something. I had turned down the voice, but because I had to, well, all the voice stuff, but because I had to get rid of the file that stores that, lost that. Yeah, here it isn't appropriate because, like, here there's no reason for it really. Well, depending. If this is like a fog, I'd expect it to hang around the trees. But here I would think they would already be mostly evaporated away. Alright, so I have a good amount of distance here. Put that to medium. Let's see. See if things change. Right here, let's do it this way.
Keep your spacing. We don't want to be clustered up in these canyons.
I'm not seeing a difference. Let me try it again. I mean, it doesn't help that I now learned that I have to do something like this. And let me just do it like that. Yeah, I'm not seeing a difference, at least not one that's significant enough to mention. I mean, maybe there's like more detail or less detail to the texture on this hill here. I can see some detail on it now. Let me go to maximum.
This place looks exactly like a topographical map.
It looks basically the same. There might be a little more detail, but not enough to care about, I think. So, yeah, I still have no idea what it does. Let me also try this, which should work. Put the AMD Link app on my phone. So at present, VRAM utilization 45%. Picture quality down to low. With a spin around. Still 46%. Let's even restart the map. So now it dropped down to 19%, which makes sense. It purged things. 23, 26, 27, so it's loading things back into the VRAM, so it's going up. %, 30. Come on. Hey, we're at 31%. What was that before? 46, 47%. That's what I was at before. 32%. Alright, now we're in here. 35%. 46%. 36%. 37%. Huh. So it does seem to have changed.
Want to spend weeks clearing shrapnel from shredded my armor bundles.
Okay, there might be a little bit less detail on that. That guy does seem to have less detail on him, though. So then that might be the situation. That it takes restarting. Yeah, I think that this is less detail on there. I set it to maximum, right? Yeah. But I'll be honest, at low, that did not look that bad. I mean, it was definitely inferior to high. You could visibly see that. But it wasn't that bad. It's like, if you had to turn it down to that, yeah, you can. I'm not looking at the app anymore, by the way.
Our
Someone's
employer wants
wondering.
us to destroy a local military facility. Be cautious of any live.
Okay, I'm actually not noticing that being all that different. So this may be more of a lighting thing.
Does not want to spend weeks clearing shrapnel.
Yeah, I guess that is more of a lighting thing. It looks a little different, but yeah. So I guess then I was wrong. I am not seeing it. I mean, it just some of the. It almost looks plastic. It almost looks like, you know, the materials are a little different. But yeah, that could just be lighting though, because this kind of soft lighting is not what I've been seeing these mechs in when I was looking at them, like in the dropship. So that might be the situation more than anything. All right, so I'm gonna throw that out there, that information out. It doesn't look like there is a difference. We got view distance quality that I can't tell you what it does. FX quality, can't tell you what that does. And let me pull up the table. Low is acceptable. But medium if you can, I would say, because the additional effects that you get on medium do have an impact, are visually nicer to see, at least with the PPC. So low you can do, but I would definitely, like, low would be minimum acceptable. Medium though is like my suggested minimum. Think of it like that. High, I'd say is the maximum, because I can't see what the maximum setting does anymore. It looked like there was something, but not really. For shadow quality, low appears to be off, but to be fair, no, not this one. Do you really think that the game is gonna play worse because of this? No. Especially right now. It's passive lighting. You're not gonna notice it.
This place looks exactly like a topographical map.
But it is weird for the mechs to not have shadows because they look more like they're floating. But it still is. Low is the minimum. Medium is the maximum, though, because I couldn't tell you what the difference is between medium and high, and same with maximum. I just realized I should specifically state that I don't see maximum adding anything. Just stating that there's no difference between medium and high is not enough for me. Texture quality, can't tell you the difference. Foliage, low seems to turn it off, and I think that's an acceptable minimum, especially as I suspect that will have an impact on performance. The maximum acceptable is now high, because apparently maximum, the one difference I thought was there actually isn't there. It's you turn the camera, come back, and now it's apparently the same as high, and I don't think there was any additional detail. Post-processing quality, it does look like it does have ambient occlusion, but this is not a game that needs ambient occlusion. Let's be honest here. I'll turn that back to medium. Post-processing that down to low. Do you think this really looks worse? Ignore that ghosting. That, oh my god, that is obvious. What the hell is causing that? Okay, I might need to I might need to add some notes to the anti-aliasing. Holy crap. Although here, let's do this. Okay. Alright, so now I got a difference between high and maximum. Thank you. Holy crap, is that a difference? And I never would have noticed that before. Okay. Alright, so maximum is the new maximum. Acceptable quality for anti-aliasing. On high, there can be very clear ghosting. But maximum does not suffer from this. So it's basically, visually, maximum and high are identical as far as addressing aliasing, but maximum tackles the ghosting. It is now the maximum, and I am going to have it be that for what I would play at. Alright,
Keep your spacing.
Okay, I turned post-processing to low, turn that up to high. Sorry, maximum, and do you see it? Do you care? I know I don't. I mean, I'm not going to discount that there is a difference. I'm not going to say there isn't. I'm just saying I don't think it's enough to be necessary. You can really clip things in. I mean, it is what it is. That's just, kind of what you're stuck with. But okay, so based on that, then high is fine for that. That's fine. That can be low. This should be maximum for my own desire. That should be 16x for me. But anyway, here, let me go back to the list. Effects quality, low or medium, depending on what you're looking for. For the minimum, high for the maximum. Shadow quality, low or medium. It's basically shadows off for low, shadows on for medium. High and maximum didn't seem to add enough. Texture quality, can't tell you. Foliage, low is off. I think that's acceptable for just general gameplay. What is the difference between medium and high? High shows more grass than medium, and that actually, I didn't really show it here that much. At medium, on the forest level, there was grass. Yeah, I might actually... What the heck? Oh, I accidentally closed the thing. Okay. I accidentally misclicked. There. So let me just pull that back up. There. Alright, so you see how it's patchy like this? The forest looked kind of like that. It was patchier, whereas on high, it was more consistent. It's more, there's grass everywhere. So that, I'll give it to high. Can't tell you what maximum does anymore. Post-processing, already covered that, no idea. Anti-Aliasing, low if you want sharpness is fine, but honestly, I don't feel this is a game that is hurt by not having that. So high is its minimum, because the medium doesn't tackle the temporal aliasing that is there. I mean, we go to that, and I mean, right now, okay, doesn't look too bad, but once you move, look at all that shimmering on the grass. No, you don't want that. So you want high because that tackles the temporal aliasing, the shimmering. But then to get rid of the ghosting, you go to maximum. So we're good. Good with that. And then the anisotropic quality. 4x, 2x, it seemed before the other day like it was having more of an impact than apparently I can see now. That could just be my eyes. That might not be anything changed in the game. So 4x is what I'd say is the minimum. 16x though is what I'd probably run at. That is the maximum. It does have an impact. At least in the snow level. And I could believe the GTX 770 I got because it is only 2 gig VRAM card. I could believe that, and it's also old enough and slow enough that could be hurt by anisotropic filtering being turned up that high. But I would think that most modern GPUs aren't going to be hurt by that, so I would personally just, in like any game, I would just set that to 16x, its maximum, and just leave it at that, and not worry about it, not think about it. But yeah, it's that's kind of, that basically goes through it. So, and all that stuff will be included in the written review. Can't tell you about sharpening because really don't know. I'm gonna go over to the logo here. In the fact that I can't toggle it on and off easily without restarting the game, and I don't want to go through that. And resolution scale, again, I can't tell you because I can't go through it. I just know that personally I would not want to just turn it down. I may look into that if I do the performance analysis, especially with the GTX 770. See about turning that down, and how that works. But right now, I am not testing that. My preference would always be to not turn down resolution just for performance, but I mean, there's certainly games where you can do that. Even like 5%, like setting this to 95, it may look the exact same to your eyes. It may look identical to your eyes, but your frame rate may improve a noticeable amount. That is very realistic. So go ahead and look at that on your own. I just can't. I'm not looking at it now. I may look at it in the future. We'll see. But I'm enough of a. I'd rather turn down other settings than reduce the resolution. That's just my own personal preference. But do whatever you want with that. I mean, I do think it is a great option to have. I love that is appearing in more games. I really do. Even if I'm not going to take advantage of it by my own personal choice, as opposed to doing investigation like this, it's still, I like having that there. It is good to have. And with that, and having gone for an hour and a half now, I'm done. See you next time for whatever that may be.